Okay. Well, here, all right. I just pushed stop streaming, so let me go to the working wing. I swear to God, half of the
Our stream's up, bud.
Yes, it is.
I see it.
Hi, everybody, and welcome to this very special. Horrible. Hi, everybody, and welcome to this very special stream of the Working Wing podcast. We are here. We are getting ready. We are getting ready to bring you. Oh man, it's super distracting to hear myself in my earbud.
I have to like just take yourself out of your ear.
Yeah, I think we're looking pretty good though. So, all right.
Or did you turn your camera off on OBS or your mic off on OBS? That might help.
I did, yeah. No, our audio I think is clean.
Okay.
All right, so I'm gonna pretend like I know what I'm doing and do that. Hell yeah. Hell yeah.
Although to McKinnon, I do have to admit, I can't hear me on this stream.
No?
You burn my lips when I kiss your cheeks.
It should be. It's the only audio source I have in there is the audio of our Discord call.
Really?
Yeah.
There, but I got back on my feet. That is,
Oh, no, I
if
can hear
you
you now.
even care. Yes, I got back on my feet. That is, if you even care, girl. I've been back on my feet. That is, if you even care, girl. I've been back on my feet. That is, if you even care. Woman, I'm back on my feet. That is, if you even care.
All right. Hi, everybody, and welcome back to a very special stream of the Working Wing podcast. My name is Tim Schultz, and joining me, as always, my dear friend, longtime debate partner, and a man who is really just a man, but a good man, Kilian Collins.
Thank you, Tim. It's good to be back. Good to be remote. Good to be working this all out.
Yeah, this labyrinth of technology that we find ourselves plunged into.
And being in Wisconsin, we were still 7 years behind. And
Yeah, like all these streamers that we've been watching for years make everything look so smooth, so easy, but it is not.
Yeah, really, God love y'all. Like you all doing this, like you all so much shit, and it's so much harder.
Yeah.
With us money. Granted, yeah.
I
mean,
but I think the top level reason that we're here is because we are going to be using this channel to live stream coverage of the 2022 midterm elections on November 8th. It's an important one. It's going to be a big one.
Most are focusing on the Wisconsin runs, the Mandela Barnes and Ron Johnson race.
Yes, that's going to be crucial.
Tim Michael, gubernatorial race, and
Actually, yeah. Let me see how
how bad that situation is, or
Yeah.
how bad even doing.
538.
Because, I mean, he could...
I-38 does not acknowledge the...
Doesn't acknowledge what?
The existence of Ron Johnson. Or no, it doesn't... Alright. Evers is slightly favored to win Wisconsin's governor election.
Yeah.
57 to 43.
But like, well, 57 potential runs out of 43 of them, and that's still pretty even Steve for me, and can be the way that usually polls like end up like polling towards Republicans is like still a smart margin.
Right, because like the thing that's going to swing it, and this is why Wisconsin has been so unpredictable. The thing that's going to swing it is young people turnout and black turnout in Milwaukee, and both of those are historically underrepresented by like the big political polls.
I think there's also shifts in like I would be more likely to believe that like people in this younger generation would still also like be more willing to vote right too, or not vote at all.
I mean, I have a hard time. I don't know the young person who's willing to like vote right. I really don't. I mean, I think the young people who are willing to vote right are the people who are like working in factories and warehouses right out of high school, I suppose. But like all the young people who go to school, the Republicans are literally suing the Biden administration to stop them from like giving every student with college debt $20,000. Who would vote for that?
Yeah. I don't know. It's a whole lot of things. Yeah, a whole lot of things that people vote against their own interests for.
I really, truly do not get it. I wish the concept of the issue of marijuana legalization had come up in the gubernatorial debate, because that's something I would have liked to have gotten Tim Michels on the record about.
Well, there's a referendum.
There's a referendum for Milwaukee.
Yeah. That is going to be a thing, which hopefully that will be a pretty... If that passes, I mean, I find that to be the easiest thing to pass, because you get a lot of libertarian fucks and some conservatives to really...
Yeah. No, if the Republican legislature ever let it become a statewide referendum, it would pass like that. Because honestly, I don't think legalized marijuana has ever lost in a statewide referendum.
Yeah, it's just a matter of putting it on there.
But they won't put it on there. They will not. Yeah. Just like they won't put an abortion referendum. Despite what Ron Johnson's bloviating policy says, the Wisconsin legislature will never put abortion up for a referendum in this state, because they know they would lose.
Well, I think they would if they knew how to word it.
Yeah, but
they would do it if they knew it was in there.
They could do, I suppose they could do like an A/B, because they keep the straw man they always keep bringing up is like the people who want to allow 9-month abortions, which no one actually wants to allow, but like that's the language they would use. It's like should 9-month pregnancies be aborted, or should there be no abortion? That's like the only type of question they could win.
Yeah. It's and then discourage turnout. That's their strategy anyway.
Yeah. Hey, Kilian, have you listened to that podcast I recommended yet?
No, I've not listened to that.
Kilian.
Podcast. I'll be honest, I don't really like the Weather Underground.
Why not?
Not really that interested in them.
I am curious to hear more about that. Like, what is your background knowledge? Because I didn't know much about the Weather Underground. I knew vaguely of them, but like, what is your overall impression of the Weather Underground?
My overall impression of them is they seem kind of like one of these like cultish, like ultra leftist groups that were really into violence and didn't really know what their identity was.
Well, I mean, like every leftist group has like identity-based infighting, right? Like, because like they started off their extreme left turn came when they allied with the Black Panthers. Because they started off as part of like the more mainstream like Student Democratic Committee or whatever, the SDC, the big, huge like student movement that had like, you know, tens of thousands of members. And then they, you know, this small splinter group of that invited the Black Panthers to come speak at like their big national congress. And a bunch of people got pissed off at them, and the Weather Underground folks were the ones who were like, no, we're with the Panthers. All the rest of you can get fucked up.
Or you mean like kind of take their tactics and...
No, like, yeah, we stand like that. That was the Weather Underground's main driving issue, besides all the standard, like, 60s leftist shit, was that, like, they rocked with the Panthers. And then when the Panthers had their own identity crisis and split into, like, you know, you had the Black Liberation Army, that, like, they, you know, the Black Liberation Army, they were... they were all fucking in. And the Weather Underground was rocking with them when they were all underground, all running from the FBI.
But here's the thing, Tim. Didn't most of the Weather Underground, like, you know, instead of like going to prison, like, you know, most people in the Black Liberation Army, like, who are still in prison now, like, didn't most of them, like, just become college professors?
They did. Well, like, a lot of them did serve time, but you're right. There is institutional racism that meant that, like, the institution was, like, less willing to slap a life sentence on, like, a well-to-do white lady than they were on, like, black people. But, like, the leader of, like, the Weather Underground never snitched to the FBI, refused to, like, she spent, like, a year and a half in jail because she wouldn't talk to the police about a BLA movement that she wasn't even, like, involved in. Like, the BLA, like, robbed a bank and killed some cops, and they, like, tried to drag her in there to, like, say some shit about the BLA, and she wouldn't, and she sat in jail for, like, over a year for that shit. And they eventually let her out because, you know, she was a pretty white lady. But, like...
I don't know,
the resolution 12, they couldn't fix institutional racism in that country.
Like it's just like it just kind of seems like a group kind of trying to take like what the Black Panthers tactics were without really having the same kind of like institutionalized enemy that is like really there. Where I'm like, the Panthers were kind of more like taking up arms in terms of having self-defense. Like, well,
the BLA wasn't. The Black Panthers were. The BLA were not. The BLA were out there like robbing banks and actively going after cops and shit.
Right.
And then when they needed to get broke, and when the BLA needed to like do jailbreaks and shit, they would call up the Weather Underground.
But like what I'm saying with the Panthers is like the big difference was just like having self-defense. As you know, you stay armed for like in terms of self-defense. You know you're going to need to have when just the community you're trying to build is going to be suppressed. In terms of, and you need to have self-defense for state-sponsored terrorism that's coming your way. Like there's a big difference between that and then the offensive, ultra-violent leftists, crazy shit that that's what all that is, which is just
Yeah, no, I don't entirely agree with like the ultra violence part of it.
No, I don't agree with that kind of violence. Like that kind of violence is like completely fucked. Like all in all, because it's not even really like.
But like this is what the podcast is about, because like it's all the people who are like involved in this shit, and it's like even like the BLA people who are still alive are like in on it. And not, hiding in Cuba from the FBI still.
Meh. I mean, I'm meh. I mean, Jonestown is interesting shit in terms of like leftist politics too, and like
Jonestown was not leftist politics. Come on, dude.
But they started off like I mean,
every cult starts off.
I don't know whether underground is really leftist politics either. It seems a bit more like synthetic made for the government to show angry white leftists.
No, what do you mean by that? Are you trying to insinuate that like the FBI created the weather? Because like there was a whole thing where like the FBI would intervene when there was a whole thing where like the FBI would infiltrate every like leftist group and try to get them to like do shit. Yeah. I mean, they did that to the Panthers too, but that doesn't mean that like the Panthers were like a synthetic thing made by the federal government.
No,
yes, the Weather Underground had undercover FBI agents who would like try to get them to do crazy shit.
But maybe there could be more. This is just speculation here. There could be more than people like out of charge trying to put on the side they're just pretty white. I'm just saying, like it just smells.
I mean, some of them did do serious time too.
Yeah, some probably did, but like it's also they trap people. They get people in on shit. They
you should listen to the podcast, man, because like.
All right, I'll give it a shot if I can. I'll give it a shot soon. There's some off stream I gotta talk to you about too. That's like all stirring up. So.
Oh yeah.
I'll let you know about that.
Interesting.
Yeah.
But yeah, I said in my description for this stream that I would be lecturing you on podcast you should be listening to. Mm-hmm. The other one is Burn Wild. It's about the Environmental Liberation Front.
Okay.
That's another very interesting one.
Some eco-terrorist stuff?
Yeah. Avalanche, baby.
Final Fantasy VII.
Yeah. Just all these like questions that you know that you and I always circle around in our debates about revolution and how to do it and how not to do it, and the ins and outs.
Yeah, well, I really don't think with any of those groups revolution going to come from any of them. Like, I really don't. Like, I think those are. I guess it's fun to look at as failed examples. You always learn from.
Right. Right. I mean, that's how I see it. Like, the 60s revolutions, none of them worked. But it's interesting, and a lot of them were like hanging out with like Vietnamese revolutionaries in Cuba. Like they talk about like a whole event where the more extreme side of the Black Panthers and some of the Weather Underground people like went to Cuba and were like partying with like young Vietnamese revolutionaries. So like it's just this whole question of like the two revolutions worked, ours didn't, and like what the difference is.
Yeah. No, I mean like they were. They're trying to unite whoever fucking was around them, and they knew it was going to be against their real enemy. So,
yeah.
They was looking around. Yeah. All I was going to say was Jonestown. Jonestown was not. Just get back on this, but like Jonestown was never left. It was more like
Utopia.
Crazy. Yeah. Utopian and using some of these like more progressive. Like socialist-leaning type of like social policies.
You know who else did that, Kilian?
Yeah.
You know who else started their cult of using like kind of sort of like progressive socialist type terminology, concepts? Jesus Christ.
Jesus did it.
Everyone love each other, but also I am the Lord your God. Also, these 12 guys are my direct chosen disciples, and this guy right here controls everything on heaven and earth. But everyone love each other.
Yeah. Fight the government, but don't do it alone. Okay, don't do it alone. But fight the government.
Yeah, people always say Jesus is like a revolutionary, and like you have to go looking for that. You really do. Because, like, other times he's a total, like, normie, like, render unto Caesar what is Caesar, render unto God what is God.
Yeah. No, he's definitely talking about both sides now.
Yes, he definitely is. Probably because he didn't want to get arrested and murdered, but that shit happened anyways. Like every cult leader kind of does that too. Like every cult leader is like, I'm not telling you to go out and fight the government, but if it happens and if you guys come after me, I can't predict what my guys will do. Like there was that other one. God, I forget what it was even called. The drug recovery clinic that spiraled into a huge sprawling cult. But he would record messages being like, if y'all try to arrest me, I can't guarantee that y'all won't get killed.
Was this like a rehab facility in the 60s or something?
Yeah. I forget the name. I just listened to a whole podcast about it. God, the name is escaping me. But yeah, it was it was a big thing in especially on the West Coast. They started off on Venice Beach in Los Angeles.
Yeah, to tell you the truth, Venice looks like Venice and LA just seems like the whole place is like a mental ward.
Yeah, for sure, for sure.
It seems like you just moved into a mental ward and it's all around you.
Yeah.
and you ain't got fucking no direction. All you gotta know is where's your house at, and everywhere else you gotta get to.
I gotta keep. Not hitting my
microphone. Keep straight. Keep it easy. Well, hey, this stream is successful. We're at least talking.
Yeah.
We're keeping the subject up. Not sitting in silence forever. It's all fucking matters.
And then we can switch between screens too. We have the technology, Kilian. We have the power.
We have the technology. We have the power. We'll get to know that Jesus Christ was actually not only a socialist, he was an extreme tanky. Who was a man
after your own heart.
You guys are going to share all your lives with me specifically.
Yes.
And the same way that a lot of there's odds. And I see there's this one leftist cult that's one leftist super violent cult that's so fucking. They captured who did they kidnap? They kidnapped William.
Oh, that rich chick. Yes. I listened to a podcast about her too. Yeah, I forget. It wasn't the Weather Underground, but it was a very similar vein. Yeah.
It was a similar vein in terms of just they would just kidnap people and rob banks and hold hostages.
Yeah.
And then her story, so she got brainwashed.
Yeah.
Was part of their thing.
Started rocking the movement.
A part of their thing is that free love, which means everyone fucks the leader. So,
yeah, that's always the case. It's always everyone fucks the leader. I guarantee Jesus was knee deep in turn of the millennium Palestinian pussy.
We need to have a political movement where the person in charge of it or is the face of it just doesn't fuck.
Yes.
They need to be Parks and Rec person that Ben interns for.
Yes.
Parks and Rec interns for this one politician, and he just sits in his office going,
Yes. That's the ideal. That's the ideal right there. Oh man!
He doesn't get in trouble. He doesn't go hire male hookers to do cocaine off his dick. That shit doesn't happen. And you just have your movement untainted. The only thing people can say is that he's completely fucking unrelatable. And we just had Donald J. Trump was one of the most unrelatable. If that fuck isn't unrelatable, I don't know what is.
Yeah.
So I don't think that's really a factor anymore. I think relatability is just kind of out of the American psyche. Because I think Americans are at the point of I don't want to be fucking like me. I'm miserable. I'm running out of shit. If they like me, damn, dude, this country's in trouble.
Yeah.
Like they'd rather have some like super like some strong man like figure who doesn't have like feelings and like is able to smile in a way that make you feel comfortable when he tells you yes I'm
Yeah.
and you'll be fending for yourself.
Just like the human personification of like a stuffed animal, just like cuddly and warm but lifeless and dead inside.
But still strong enough to kill the your political dissidents.
Yes. That's important. That's crucial right there.
And most importantly, be able to whip big tech into doing or censoring anything. So, I mean, that's the job. That's the job of like you're in charge of the government. It's like, yeah, that seems like what it's at. It's like telling technology where it's going to be at soon. You're steering tech companies. You're yelling at them to like do one thing or another depending on the little situation.
Yeah. Oh yeah, okay.
I've still been reading War of the Worlds. I gotta fucking finish up on that. There's a lot of things.
Okay, I was practicing some reading while you were figuring out your audio earlier.
Yeah. Audio. I was pretty much trying to figure out audio and do a couple other things. Yeah. I tell you, I might be getting a new job, so I might.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
All right, let's end the stream. I think it's going well. All right, everyone. Thank you for watching this free-flowing conversation. Yeah, we will be back with you on election night to bring you all our thoughts. So, until then, keep working.
Keep on working.